He gave me a bracelet for our anniversary. Said it symbolized commitment. A week later, I found the exact same bracelet in a drawer with a different name engraved on it. I mailed it back with a note. She's all yours. So, is the receipt. I'm not the kind of woman who rushes into things. I've been through too much for that. I got married young, divorced at 32, and spent 3 years keeping my head down, working at the library and taking care of my mom. Then I met Wes. We met on a Sunday morning at the Asheville Farmers Market. It was September. Still warm, but not summer anymore. I was picking out peaches and dropped one. He bent down, handed it to me, and said something dumb like, "Looks like fate wants you to have this one." I smiled. I don't usually smile at strangers. He wasn't much to look at, but he had that calm, steady way about him. Solid, honest eyes. Wore jeans that were a little too big and boots that had clearly been through hell. He worked HVAC. Said he liked it because he got to fix things people actually needed. That stuck with me. We started slow. Coffee dates, long walks, conversations that lasted until midnight. He never pressured me. Never rushed anything. When we kissed for the first time, it was in his truck after a movie, and I remember thinking, maybe this one's different. For years went by. I moved into his place after 2. We talked about marriage more than once, but it was always once things settle down or once I pay off this debt. I didn't push. I'd already done the wedding thing. I just wanted someone who showed up for me, who made me feel safe. This year, our anniversary fell on a Thursday. He said he wanted to cook. Told me not to make any plans. When I got home, he had candles lit and music playing. Not fancy, but it was sweet. Steak, mashed potatoes, asparagus, wine. He even shaved and wore a shirt with buttons. That man hated buttons. After dinner, he gave me a box. Said he'd been thinking about this for months. That it wasn't a ring, not yet, but it meant we were building something real. It was a silver bracelet. Thin and simple. On the inside, engraved, forever, W&A. I started crying. Not dramatic sobbing. Just tears that came out of nowhere. I'd had a hard year. Lost my dad in January. Had to fly back and forth to Ohio for all the hospital stuff. Wes had been my rock through all of it. Held my hand in silence when I couldn't talk. Brought me tea at 2 a.m. I didn't think men like him existed. I wore that bracelet every day. Told everyone he gave it to me for our anniversary. Showed it to my sister, even though she never really liked him. A week later, I was looking for a screwdriver. Wes has this drawer in the hallway closet. Always told me to leave it alone, just junk and old tools. But I needed a flathead and didn't feel like driving to the store. I opened the drawer. Found tools. Some receipts. Loose screws. And a box. Same size as mine. Same silver ribbon. I don't know what made me open it. Curiosity? A bad feeling? I told myself maybe it was a backup in case something happened to mine. That would have been sweet. Thoughtful. But it wasn't that. It was another bracelet. Same design. Engraving, forever, W&M. I didn't move for a long time. Just stood there, holding it in my hand like it might explode. M. Not me. Who the hell was M? My stomach sank. I went cold all over. You know that feeling when you realize something isn't just wrong, it's broken? That was me. I checked the receipt inside the box. It had a shipping label on it. Different address. Not ours. A woman's name. I didn't recognize it, but the street was across town. Same city. He bought 2 bracelets. Gave me one. Left the other sitting in a drawer like it was nothing. I didn't scream. I didn't call him. I didn't even cry. I walked into the kitchen, sat at the table, and stared at that bracelet for a good hour. Then I got up, packed both bracelets in the box, along with the receipt, and wrote a note on a torn piece of paper. She's all yours. So, is the receipt. Next morning, I dropped it in the mail. Priority. No return address. Then I went home, grabbed my things, and left the key under his doormat. I didn't block his number right away. I wanted to see what he'd say. It took him a day. He texted me the next night like nothing had happened. Wes, hey babe, you okay? Didn't see you this morning. I didn't reply. An hour later, he called. I let it ring. Then the texts started coming in, one after another. Wes, Anna? You're scaring me. Where are you? Wes, why is your stuff gone? Wes, please talk to me. Still, I didn't respond. I wanted to see how long it would take him to admit it. The next morning, I got another message. This one made my stomach flip. Wes, I got something weird in the mail. What the hell is this? That was it. No apology. No confession. Just like that. He was caught and still trying to play dumb. I stayed with my sister on the other side of town. I hadn't told her everything yet. Just said we broke up. She hated him anyway. Always said he was too slick, too good at saying the right thing. It was quiet at her place. Too quiet. I kept going over everything in my head. Every little moment we'd had in 4 years. Trying to figure out when the lying started. How many other M's there were. 3 days passed. Then my sister came home from work holding her phone, face tight. Wes was at the library today, she said. He was asking about you. My stomach turned. That was my job. My space. He had no business showing up there. He talked to Judy, she added. Said he needed to return a book. But he doesn't even have a library card, Anna. He was fishing. Trying to find me. Later that night, he finally sent the message I'd been waiting for. Wes, okay. I messed up. Please, can we talk? It's not what you think. I stared at it for a long time. Then I sent one text back. Me, what's her name? A minute passed. Then 5. No answer. 20 minutes later, he replied. Wes, her name is Morgan. But it didn't mean anything. I swear. Morgan. That made it real. Not just a fling or a misunderstanding. A person with a name. Someone who meant enough to him that he bought her a bracelet, the exact same one he gave me. I didn't text back. Not yet. The next morning, he showed up at my sister's house. I saw him through the blinds. Holding flowers. Looking pathetic. My sister lost it. Don't even think about coming to this door, she shouted through the screen. Wes tried to talk, his voice cracking, loud enough for the neighbors to hear. Anna, please. Let me explain. I panicked, okay? I messed up, but I didn't cheat. I didn't sleep with her. It was emotional, but that's it. Emotional. I opened the door just enough for him to see my face. You don't give someone a bracelet that says forever if it's just emotional. He didn't have an answer for that. I shut the door. He stood there a few more minutes, then left. But something didn't sit right. If it was just emotional, why did he send it to her house? Why keep it? Why lie about it? I needed answers. And I knew where to get them. I waited a couple of days before I did anything. Tried to talk myself out of it. Told myself I didn't need to know more, that I already had my answer. But I couldn't let it go. I needed to look her in the eye. I needed to know what Wes told her, what kind of story he spun. So I found Morgan. Wasn't hard. The receipt had her full name and address. She lived across town near the west side, in a quiet cul-de-sac with small houses and trimmed lawns. I drove there on a rainy Tuesday afternoon. Parked down the street. Just sat in my car for a while, watching her porch. It wasn't even noon, but I saw her come out to check the mailbox. She looked young. Maybe late 20s. Brown hair in a messy bun. Leggings, hoodie. Didn't seem like a homewrecker. Just a regular girl. I got out, walked up the driveway before I could talk myself out of it. Hey, Morgan. She turned fast, surprised. Yeah? I'm Anna, I said. Wes's girlfriend. Her eyes widened. Wait. What? I nodded. Well, I was. She stepped back a little. Are you here too? No, I said, holding up my hands. Not mad at you. I need to know what he told you. She let me inside. Her house was small but warm. Smelled like coffee. She made some while we talked. We sat at her kitchen table. I noticed the bracelet wasn't on her wrist. I thought he was single, she said. We met on Facebook Marketplace. I was selling an old space heater. He came by to pick it up, and he asked for my number. I swallowed hard. He told me he lived alone. Said he'd just gotten out of something long-term and wasn't sure he was ready for anything serious. But he'd text me every day. Sent voice notes. Called me his little surprise, whatever the hell that meant. I almost laughed. That was his line? Little surprise? How long? I asked. Couple of months, she said. I didn't even think it was going anywhere. Then he sent the bracelet. And I thought, okay, maybe he's for real. I nodded slowly. He ghosted me the same day I got your note, she added. Blocked my number. Deleted his Facebook. There it was. He didn't just lie to me. He played both of us. When he got caught, he ran. I left her house shaking, angry, humiliated. But now I had proof. Now I had a witness. I didn't want to just disappear from his life. I wanted him to feel it. Really feel it. I didn't rush into it. I waited a full week before I did anything. During that time, I'd gathered everything. Screenshots of Wes's texts. Photos of both bracelets. I got Morgan to write a short message explaining how they met and what he told her. She even attached screenshots from their conversations, including one where he told her, "You're the only one I think about." I printed it all. Every lie. Every date. Every detail. Then I made a little package. A manila folder. On the front, I wrote in big black marker, "Thought you said it was just emotional." Inside, I slipped in all the screenshots, the receipt with Morgan's name and address, a copy of both bracelet photos side by side, and her written statement. I dropped it off at Wes's work. HVAC office, just a block off downtown Asheville. I knew his manager, Brent, because we'd had beers together once after a company barbecue. Brent always seemed like a noble kind of guy. He liked me. I asked the front desk girl if she could hand it directly to Brent. She did. That was a Friday. By Monday, Wes was blowing up my phone again. But this time he wasn't calm. "Wes, what the hell is wrong with you? Wes, you're trying to ruin my life? Wes, you think this is cute?" Then, finally, Wes. "Brent put me on leave. You happy now?" Yeah, I was. But I wasn't done. A week later, I posted everything online. Not out of pettiness, out of warning. I joined the local Asheville women's Facebook group and shared my story. No names. Just the facts. If a guy named Wes with a busted Ford truck says he's single, he's not. The post blew up. Turns out, Morgan wasn't the only one. I got DMs from 2 other women. One worked at a gas station. One met him through a mutual friend. Same story. Different details. They thought he was single. He told each of them he wasn't ready for anything serious. The gas station girl said she had no idea he was even seeing someone else until my post. It felt like someone had punched me in the gut. For years, and I didn't know who he really was. I had to face a hard truth. I let it slide too often. The excuses. The bad days. The way he pulled away when things got hard. I made myself small. Quiet. Understanding. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, even when my gut told me not to. That's on me. But what he did, that's on him. It all came crashing down fast. His boss didn't fire him, but he wasn't getting calls anymore. His reputation took a hit. And in a small town like Asheville, that spreads quick. You can't fix AC units in people's homes when they've seen your name in a Facebook group tagged with "Don't trust this man." Last I heard, he moved out of his place and left town. Nobody really knows where. Doesn't matter to me. I got my own apartment again. Signed the lease in my name. Bought a bookshelf I built myself, piece by piece. I don't wear bracelets anymore. And the next time someone says they're committed, I'll be looking a whole lot closer at the engraving.